just wanted to first just thank, Alan and Lane. This is all because of you guys. So, I mean, I can't thank you enough for, making all this work, Lane. I know there's a million different pieces behind the scenes that you guys do. And, just super grateful. I mean, it was such a weird year and a half, in regards to the COVID and everything. I think a lot of us were really scared on how we would pivot the way we did. And this community was, a huge resource to have, throughout that time. So just can't thank you enough. So to set the field, I'm just going to kind of go through exactly, my past experience, where we are now, and then obviously just roll in any questions. So mainly I started in the financial industry back in 2008. Like Dan, I used to write insurance with a local insurance house. I was there for about 2 years, did pretty well, but long story short, I had an in with ADP. I went over to them in about 2010. And with that, I was there for about 5 years. And in that 5-year career with them, every year was just, pretty impressive in regards to where I landed in regards to promotions and, different teams. So I started with them just like with ADP in the beginning. They just throw a phone book at you and they're just like smile and dial, try to sell some accounts. Long story short, I was one of the first people I ever hit President's Club their year one with ADP. Blew out the number that they gave me right off the bat. Year two, got transferred into their banking division. They had a really great relationship with Chase Bank at that time. So I partnered with the Chase Bank representatives. And year two, again, hit President's Club, blew out that number. Year three, they have ADP's like super conservative in regards to their marketing dollars. So they have a very lean team in regards to anytime they do market and they bring those leads in, they want you to have those guys, those accounts sold and sold quick. So long story short, I became one of their top producers year 3, 4, and 5 within that platform, and I was on their team, did really, really well. But by year 5, the quota was just insane what they were asking me to do. And it was just perfect timing because Jeff, the owner of Anchor, he had all this Paychex knowledge and he was looking to bring somebody over from ADP to kind of merge the ADP Paychex platforms together. Long story short, made me a good offer, came on board with him. And ever since then, I mean, just, never really looked back. We really try to, capitalize on the small to medium sized market. Really just try to deliver customer support first and foremost. I think that's why Fidens and I really match really well, is because at the end of the day, price is always on the table and we try to put our, best foot forward in regards to that. But I think referrals is obviously number one with us. So we want to just make sure that, everybody that we do bring on board, they're happy, the retention's there, they're staying with us, and we're doing a good job. So in regards to the products and services that we offer, bread and butter, obviously payroll and tax filing. Every business owner that has employees within their business, they have to pay them. When they pay them, they got to take out state taxes, they got to take out federal taxes, they got to get down to the net pay. And then from there, they got to get those either direct deposited or checks to the employees. It's a lot of back office work for somebody that's going to do it either in-house or, trust a payroll partner to do so. Long story short, with us, we can obviously handle that whole back office piece for them and just take it off their plate. To paint you a picture, if a person, trusts us with their payroll, all they have to do administratively is just give us hours every 2 weeks or every week, depending on the frequency. Once they give us the hours, we do everything for them back office. We get their employees paid, we do their quarterly taxes, the year-end taxes, get the W-2 set up at the end of the year. If they had 1099s, we do the 1099 reporting. So literally everything back office-wise, it's completely off their plate and they just get to focus on their business. Aside from, just the bread and butter of payroll and tax filing, we have a number of, ancillary services that we also are able to include with the, with the package, all depending on, the client's needs. One is a recruiting process. So we have a really amazing platform right now. It's called Applicant Stack. And essentially what this is say, for example, you have a relationship with Monster, LinkedIn, Indeed, all the major job boards. We have a centralized hub that you can sign in through here, and then you can create your job post. And once you create that job post, it fishes it out to all of those job boards. And once it fishes it out to them, you can actually track the activity through this centralized hub, and really just makes for a really nice, user experience for the client. They can see, where it's performing well, where it's not performing well, where they have to change their messaging, who's really responding, to this job board and that job board. So it's proven to be a really good tool for a lot of business owners. Secondly is once you recruit, you got to onboard them. Our platform is super user friendly. Say, for example, you hire a new employee, all we need is their name and their email address. From there, we shoot them out the W-4 form, the I-9 form, employee handbook, if you guys have that. Long story short, any onboarding documents that a business owner would have, we can digitally send it to the new employee. They digitally sign it. And then once they do so, we have a folder that's immediately created for that employee that has all that information stored. So, and what's also nice too is you can upload past documents. So if you have, past job reviews or anything like that, you can upload that into there. And it's just, again, once again, just a nice centralized hub for all of your employees within that as well. In regards to paying employees, we could do check, direct deposit. We've also came out with an Anchor branded payroll card. And essentially what this means is, like, say, for example, it's a landscaping company and a lot of the employees don't have bank accounts. They prefer checks. What we can do is we can provide them with an Anchor branded card, and we can upload their payroll to that card. So every pay period, the employee doesn't have to leave the job site, go cash their check, anything like that. And they can treat it like a bank card as well. It's just not tied to a banking account. So it allows them to, be able to do, transactions, on a credit card type of basis. So it's really nice. Retaining the employees, that's also a very big feature with us, where that really shines with us in regards to the 401k partners we have. We can just set up 401ks, we can set up simple IRAs, essentially anything that a business owner wants to add additionally to the employee, to make their employment, more appealing. We can set that up through our platform and, fully integrate with their system as well, which is nice. And then, we scroll down to the HR needs. HR, it really all depends on the size client you have. But essentially, we can either look at like a proactive approach or a reactive approach. The smaller companies, more or less, is usually a reactive approach, where we can have our, our smaller tier platform, I guess you could say, where it has every HR form you would need on the state side, the federal side. You can build employee handbooks. You have an HR representative you can contact if any of your employees are, not acting in the way that they wish they would, and you don't want to know how to handle that situation. We've got that platform. And then we have a proactive platform, which is more for like the larger companies, like a manufacturer, for example, where we really just go in and it's a single point of contact that's assigned to that account. And they literally go from A to Z and just restructure the entire business to make sure they're fully compliant HR wise. But again, it's definitely a proactive approach. You have to have somebody within the team of the organization that's really dedicated to really working with this partner to make sure it works really well. I mentioned this before, but single point of contact. This is what's really separating us from the other competitors. When you come across a larger payroll provider like an ADP, like a Paychex, it's not rocket science. We all do the same thing, but what really separates us is the customer support. We get a single point of contact, direct phone number, direct email. If you have a question, you get your answer and move on with your day. You don't have to wait on 800 numbers all the time and a new person every time. And that's really where I think, especially through COVID, that really brought a lot of business our way, because people didn't have an hour to sit on hold to get a payroll report for what they needed. Cost savings. I think Dan could easily attest to this. Every time a referral comes our way, minimum, we're looking 30-35% from a larger payroll provider. It's not a magic wand or anything. It's just at the end of the day, we don't have the overhead they do. We don't have the large buildings. We don't have the company cars. We don't have the company trips. We can easily afford to charge the rates we do and still stay super profitable. So if you come across anybody, ADP Paychex, it's a home run literally every time. Current client referral platform. We built this out not too long ago. So this is great. Once a client is on board with us, any referral that they send us, we give them a free payroll processing. When they get to the 6th referral, we give them free payroll for at least 6 months. We have a lot of contractors that do this, because a lot of contractors obviously work with other contractors. So that's been proven to be really nice. I have one guy that hasn't paid for payroll for like 3 years. So it's been really, really beneficial to him and obviously to us. Best referral for us, again, as I mentioned, ADP Paychex. If you ever come across anybody that mentions those two words, please just ADP Paychex James. Just really just have my name there. I'd really appreciate it. And in regards to the verticals and the industries we work with, we're awesome with contractors, restaurants, franchises, commercial cleaning operations, property management companies, and fitness centers. That's like 85% of my business right there. Because again, I built a lot of relationships within those industries, and a lot of those referrals just come into us. And that's usually where we see a lot of the value, because not only, kind of circle back in the beginning, not only can we offer the payroll and the tax filing, but they could take advantage of our time and attendance with the GPS tracking capability. They can take care of the HR, They could do the 401k integration, the onboarding. So there's a lot of, features we can offer them, and usually provide a very large cost savings. I don't want to take too much time, but that's pretty much where we are. And if anybody's ever interested, every other Tuesday at 11:30, we do a training with our online platform. Christy, she's our lead specialist. She does an awesome job, like non-selling environment whatsoever. You just come on, take a look at the platform, and just gets you a little bit more familiar with what we're all about. And, it's a good introduction to what we're all about. So